keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I had a moment, I had to be a savage. I had to put it in motion. You so mad and I'm laughing. You know we came from the show me. We don't care if we blasting. Blasting up and we glowing. The angels gon' buy me an Aston.
What's today? It's March 28th. March 28th. Where is this year going? 2022. And last night at the Oscars, we all know what happened. Will Smith protecting his wife ran up on stage and put his hands on another legend. He slapped Chris Rock defending his wife, and then he yelled at him, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." And then he said it again. And then Chris Rock took that shit to the chin, nigga. Like, took that shit to the chin, and then Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry, like, it's a fiasco. And I'm not here to play the y'all set black people back X amount of years shit. Like, fuck all that. Like, it's not for me, because I've been talking about this shit all fucking day. For me, all of this has, like, it's not even about what happened anymore. And my I want to get this out there and make it perfectly clear. Craig Smith is all for the advancement of humankind. The reason I harp so much on black culture or about manhood or about forgiveness and redemption, those are the core tenets of everything that I stand for, because I know about it. I think that once we cure a lot of these ills and replace them with empathy and redemption, replace them with patience and dialogue and discourse, replace all of this bullshit with discovery and putting our priorities back on making humanity flourish past all of our limitations. Once we can get to that point, then we can create something that looks similar to utopia. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm very optimistic for humankind. I have to be. I'm very optimistic for humankind. So everything I say is fruit from that tree. I'm not in the position to judge anybody, because I've messed up a ton. And I'm sure I'm still messing some stuff up. I'm not in the position to judge anybody. I can judge actions. I'm not in the position to change anybody's mind. That's your job. I'm not in position to call anybody out unless it's personal. And it's never personal unless, all I am here to do is be a voice calling for us to take up the mantle of transcendence and transcension and become better as a species. But that's a story for another day. Today, because all I want you to know is that that's where I'm coming from. And so today, I had a lot, like, the Will Smith going up there and doing what he did affected me. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. It affected me because I expected something more of him. But therein lies the problem. The expectations of celebrities, these many gods that we've created in our society, and it's not like it's us, but it's a systematic thing. Like, this is the Roman Empire. This is this is Catholic saints. This is who we are. We are worship machines. We are meaning making machines, and we are worshiping machines. It seems to be a pattern that we've established, and that goes all the way back to the dominance hierarchy in the animal kingdom, that we have grown to make more sophisticated and call it shit like celebrity and create culture around it. But at the end of the day, it's all the same shit. Where do you put your hope? Where do you put your hopelessness? Where do you put your shame and your guilt? Where do you put your ambition and all your dreams unfulfilled? Where do you put your love, your unrequited love? I think that's the phrase. You put it off on stories that were told to you. You put it off on celebrities who deal with this shit, and you live vicariously through them. You put it off on the nature by which we live our lives through social media to only show you what's going great. And even when I show you what's going wrong, it's painted in a lens of this is how it looks when it's not going all good. We are meaning-making, worshiping machines. That's not all we are. That's not all of who we are, but it's definitely a place where we find ourselves getting stuck many times as we navigate this thing called life. Who's the culprit? Like, why can't we escape this? Why can't we get out of our own way? Because I think it's starting to become a problem, no? I think it's beginning to be a problem. It was okay when Andy Warhol was here during the 60s, 70s, 80s, and early 90s when you don't know everything, right? Like with the advent of the internet, when you literally, oh my God, I don't think that people really understand where we are and what we're called to take on right now. Privacy's gone, baby. You can get mad at Zuck. you can get mad at TikTok in China, but privacy's gone and you gave it away willingly because it makes your life easier and more entertaining. You have to judge for yourself if that's right or wrong, but you gave it away willingly. Every time you sign the terms of agreement or terms and conditions on a website, every time you log in, you're giving that away again. And that can be okay. Because as a society, we vote with our dollars and our time. Right? So look around at where we are. This ain't the same America. This is not the same Western civilization that we've grown accustomed to. But we still act as if we still carry these same mindsets as if this is 1957. This is 1968, 73, or 88. Now I'm just saying numbers, but we act as if we act as if we can stay the same and move into the future. Shit like celebrity. And dogmatic versions of religion that don't account for what's actually happening or the context in which a lot of holy scripture is written in. The more that we allow ourselves to be held to these antiquated standards and elevate people that don't deserve godship to God status, the longer it will take for all of us to progress. Now, I don't think that everybody can come with us. I might not get there with you. I don't think that everybody's meant to go, because everybody don't want to go. Right? That says a lot about society. That says a lot about the people you're around. It says a lot about success in general. But ultimately, for where we're headed, and it sounds like science fiction, but I'm talking about like flying cars. I'm talking about like becoming one with the machine, evolving, like literally evolving. You being able to process information at speeds that, you cannot imagine. You being able to connect with people damn near telepathically. It's going to feel like magic in a minute. And I'm not talking about in 100 years. I'm talking about in 20. the things that we're working on to cure aging, to de-age people, the things that we're working on in the space of quantum technology and research. All of these things are happening as we're discussing the appropriateness of celebrities. I've seen people destroy themselves. I've seen people destroy their lives and the lives of those around them. Hell, I was destined to become one of those people. I've seen it because there are prison bars around certain parts of your mind that you can't open because they're locked with your fears about who you become once you open your mind to new things, about who's going to love you if you become someone else. I'm still getting through that. And that's what leads me back to Willard Smith Jr. jumping on that stage and doing what he did. I don't agree with it, but I don't judge him. I do not judge him. He's still who he is. And for his reasons, he felt it appropriate to do that. And I know he wishes he could take it back. Or at least do it a different way. Maybe he don't mind checking Chris Rock, but maybe he wishes I would put my money on he wishes he could do it a different way, at least. And I know what that feels like, playing this moment in your head over and over again, questioning your integrity, questioning how people will see you, and if you really did put it all on the line, and if it was worth it. I know what that feels like. So I can't judge him. If anything, what I need to do, and I'm not there yet because because my hero got wounded in that incident. Two of my heroes got wounded in that incident. But speaking about Will Smith particularly, I needed to see that. It was so fucking dramatic of an act, and in my view, so shameful of an act that is not something you could walk back with an apology on stage or a tweet. It's something that needs to simmer, and that we need to digest as a culture. For whatever reason, man, just, you can only take too much, cross the line, and, everybody don't play like that. All of that, sure, great. I know he wishes he could take that moment back. I know it. Because I've been there. And it's good to see, not good to see, whoa. It's important to see how common of a dilemma this is. Not just for men, for women, for everyone. When you feel like you're destined for greatness, so you mold yourself to be someone, and you feel like you have jumped and cleared the hurdles. You've gotten your ass beat. You've been in the environments where you need to flourish, and you showed out in a good way. You got the crown. You got the medals. You nominated for an Oscar, the biggest night of the year for your industry. It is what it is. I'm here. I am going to win. I'm going to win. And one thing can derail that process because it challenges your identity. It challenges your identity as a protector, as a man, as a husband. Now, this is, of course, me projecting. Fuck, maybe he didn't think any of this shit, but this is my show. Fuck out of here. When that identity is challenged and you act on it in a controversial manner, you're always going to open yourself up for criticism. You're always going to open yourself up for to be ostracized. You're always going to open yourself up to be wrong, to be retaliated against, for litigation. You're always going to open yourself up to be a target, and that's called vulnerability. Now, this was a version that I hope never to display in front of God and my mama and Lupita Nyong'o and Meryl Streep. Nonetheless, this is something that challenges us frequently. How you gonna act? You know what I mean? Like, this is something that we deal with. We, like all of us, deal with. How are you gonna step up or not? What's appropriate? Because people are complicated. And the more we try to act like, and this is me talking to myself and chastising myself, the more we try to act like there is some righteousness that we can all achieve, and this goes for politics, this goes for relationships, this goes for parenting and scholarly activities, this goes for your job and brands and everything. The more you think that there's some standard of perfection, the further we drift apart from each other. You want to bring people together? Start accepting their complications. You want to bring people together? Start listening to both sides. Like shutting the fuck up and listening without responding. Just listening. You want to bring people together? Take certain words out of your vocabulary. Them, they. I mean, unless it's somebody's pronouns. Take certain things out of your mind about how people think. Let's stop labeling things because of where they fall on a political spectrum. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, the people on the far left and the people on the far right, they don't speak for you. They speak for them, and they expect you to gravitate toward them. And the more you do, the more you fuel this narcissistic, psychotic chaos that they tend to bring up. There are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us who are able to think like critically about things, able to extend empathy, who love people, who have a mind to progress without sacrificing everywhere that we've come from, allowing people to be who they are. There are more of us who do this than there are of them, who would have you believe that there's only one way to be in this world. People are fucking complicated. They're complex. And that's what you have to love about consciousness. That's what you have to grow to love about people. Because the more you try to seek a standard for people, not like saying, like be destructive, obviously. And I hate that I have to create a caveat for this because you know what the fuck I'm talking about. The more you create a small window for people to try to jump through, the more chaos ensues. And chaos is just the way of the universe. Understand this. What goes on in your head, the thoughts that tell you to do one thing or another, this is your mind's ability to create scenarios for you to act on and prepare for. We worship, we create scenarios, we find meaning. We worship, we create scenarios, we find meaning. And then we act on all of that. And if you think that there's anyone that you know, especially a movie star, that does this perfectly by virtue of being popular, you are sadly mistaken. And you will end up like me at the end of last night, borderline heartbroken. Wake your punk ass up. There is no getting through this life unscathed unless you don't do shit. And if you don't do shit, I'm not talking to you. If you are trying, if you are striving, you are going to tear some shit up. Inadvertently. You're gonna make some people really wish that they hadn't believed in you at certain points. You're gonna make people question your integrity. But listen to me. That's just because it's difficult to do. Whatever you're trying to do is hard. It's difficult. It's difficult. Bro, this is the hard part. When it gets divisive, when it becomes unclear which direction to head in, when your kids look at you a certain way, when your wife, your girlfriend, your parents, your husband, your brothers, your sisters, your former friends, your boss look at you a certain way. Don't act brand new now like this is the hard part. This is a part of your journey. Don't think that this is not going to happen. It just so happens that certain people have to do that in front of more people. And it's oftentimes easier to look perfect when you when you don't put yourself out there, when you play it safe. I don't applaud Will Smith for hitting Chris Rock. I just don't. For whatever reason. I don't applaud it. But I will never judge him for it. Just like I've seen people that I love and care about do really fucked up things. But I'm not going to put them out of my life. Even if, look, even in those instances where people have kicked me out of their lives, I get it. I get it. I've wronged plenty of people. I've fallen hella short. There is no judgment that I could pass on this situation that I would want passed on me. And from there flows this river of empathy instead of expectation. That says, whenever you want to jump back in the race, feel free to step your ass up. Feel free to be yourself. Feel free to change in front of me. Feel free to pass me notes on how you got through. You hear me? Like, if you listening to this, if you made it this far, you are a leader. You're the one we're waiting on. And with all love and grace, you're the one we're waiting on to step up, to be goddamn Dr. King, Sojourner Truth. You're the person that we're waiting on. Don't allow them to make you believe that some celebrity is going to be your hero. You be your hero. You become the person that you always wanted to see, that you always wanted to stand up for you, that you always wanted to create a life for you. Be that person. Be that person. I am Craig Smith. Thank you for listening.